So let's watch some Jamal Trulove.
The police was still, trying to get a conviction by all means necessary. When I was arrested for it, the community knew I didn't do it. And it was here we go again. See, this is why we don't trust, law enforcement, because it gets to a point where somebody who didn't do something goes to jail for it. I don't have no history of crime. What's up, boy? I have a history of being around in the community, but that doesn't mean that I'm a suspect. I'm like, oh man, I'll be out within 72 hours. They're gonna figure this out. They're gonna clear this up.
And then when you found out what the evidence was that they supposedly had you on, there wasn't much there. Can you describe what it was?
They had a woman saying that she seen me kill Sel. The second witness that they had really wasn't a witness at all. She said anything that the police officers wanted her to say, and they said that her recollection of the events was extremely credible. So that's what ultimately got the arrest warrant.
The District Attorney of San Francisco, Kamala Harris, appeared in the courtroom during your trial twice.
Yeah, the two times that Kamala Harris showed up to my trial was when I got convicted, and also when they laid down the sentencing.
So that's interesting, right? So Kamala is just going to show up to get the credit. She's just going to get the credit, right? So the conviction comes down, she's in the courtroom, and she's going to laugh at Jamal Trulove. So that's not cool, right? He's going to serve, or he served 6 years. He went to San Quentin prison. Jamal Trulove is eventually going to get over $13 million settlement from San Francisco because of Kamala Harris's false conviction. You think she'll ever say, I'm sorry, that was a mistake? I know people aren't perfect, right? I mean, to err is human, but an apology might be all that's needed. If you truly feel bad, you should apologize. And if that's the only thing that's needed, then we all could just move on, So you got Kamala Harris here. Let's hear what he says on.
When I got sentenced 50 to life in prison, Kamala Harris was in the courtroom. When I looked back and I seen her, she was smiling. And she did that stupid ass laugh that she do right now.
So she was smiling, right? It's funny. It was a funny thing to her. So she shows up for the conviction, shows up for sentencing. And on day one, when he goes to San Quentin, this is a maximum security prison, he's going to witness a murder. And then in 6 years, right at the end of the 6 years, he was part of a stabbing, I think, that somebody had stabbed him. So he goes to a maximum security prison, and he was falsely, this is an innocent man. An innocent man was thrown in jail. An innocent man was thrown in jail for murder. An innocent man was thrown in jail for a sentence of 50 years to life because of Kamala Harris. 50 years to life? That's a lot of fucking years for an innocent man. So what, the police nab you and then the DA just goes along with it and they don't give a damn? Don't truth, justice, love, peace, none of this matters? Don't they have any virtues whatsoever? The cop kidnaps somebody, so the damn DA gets to play lawyer. Play lawyer, man. Hey, I get to be the lawyer now. And with the three branches of government, the way I understand things, it's not the three branches are supposed to cover up the police branch. They're supposed to seek the truth. You can't get no justice if you don't have any truth. Justice requires a foundation of truth. And so this has to do with the murder of Sue, C-E-U. I'm not for sure what the name was or any of the specific details, but I do know that being thrown in jail on some bullshit is some bullshit. He's going to get over $13 million eventually because there's going to be a second trial and he's going to get, essentially get his reputation, get his name back. But that's incredible because who knows what could have happened when he was in jail. Who knows? He could have gone to jail and never got out.
And I want to tell it. And if you're wondering if I'm going to be voting for Kamala Harris, fuck no. Donald Trump, Big Trump.
Okay, so he's mad about it. Now, this interview is pretty interesting. Charlemagne is going to basically grill him and act like he don't even know. It's almost like he's playing cover. He's covering up for Kamala. But you're going to get stabbed. You're going to see a murder. You're going to go to maximum security prison, see 6 years. You're sitting there writing all these letters, thinking that maybe you'll get your day in court. Maybe somebody will eventually listen to you. He got out and got his $13 million check. So, there's some lawyer, some judge out there that actually gives a damn about the truth. And he was acquitted. And thank God, Jesus Christ. You're going to allow a man to go through all that shit? A murder charge? I mean, you better be right. If you're going to try to push a murder charge on you better be right. He said that the cops didn't even interview him. They never questioned him, never interviewed him. They just took him away, just arrested him and took him away. And then that's it. Shouldn't you at least ask the person, like, their side of things? Like, what do you know? Do you know anything about the thing? Or
have there been any charges brought up against them?
Hell yeah.
No. So she has not apologized, and the cops has not been charged in any type of way, haven't lost anything. So
I thought the federal jury found them the two lead homicide detectives at fault.
Homicide.
Absolutely. In my civil case, and that's how I was rewarded the money, right? But at the end of the day, they didn't lose their pension, they didn't lose anything of the sort.
Now I think that is crazy.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
So look,
that's a crime.
Look. That it is a crime, and that's the whole thing, right? So, typically they talk about
Charlemagne don't even know how to say homicide. He keeps on saying homicide.
people falling under the umbrella of you being wrongfully convicted. I tell them, listen, I wasn't wrongfully convicted. I was framed. It was on purpose, right? And most of these cases really is on purpose, but in civil case, when they go to their civil case, they typically take the deal and they take the money. Know what I mean? So they're not able to fully explain how they was actually framed at the end of the day. So I did that, and now I could take this. I'm supposed to be able to take this to say, look, but then they got the statute of limitation, right? So the police is held to statute of limitation if they were to frame somebody by 3 years. And there's no way if I get arrested and get framed and I go to jail for the rest of my life for 3 years past, and then I prove it later on through civil trial that they actually framed me, and now I can't take this evidence then I will have to take it to the exact same city that was saying, nigga, you got away with murder.
Right.
Jamal, correct me if I'm wrong, but the $60,000 for the eyewitness, that came from them putting the eyewitness in witness protection, right? And she was receiving money for meals and lodging and for storing fees, right?
Yeah, stipends and different little stuff like that.
So that's not the same as paying somebody to say you did something, is it?
Kind of, sort of.
Well, absolutely, but I get what you're saying. But at the end of the day, it is. They can't come on now. They can't just say, "Hey, look here, take the $60,000 if you go up there and say you did it." They can't do that. And I mean, that's just too out blatant and obvious. That's the same way. Inside, just within passing, he talked about the police officer having a clipboard pointing at it saying, "Are you sure it ain't blase Trulove?" And she was saying, "No, no, 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 no." When we was in trial, we asked this fool, "Do you hold a clipboard?" He said, "No, I don't hold a clipboard, but I got my folder. I take with me everywhere." I said, "Where is it?" He pulled it out, and that's the clipboard.
That was in the clip. That was the clipboard.
That was a clipboard. Within his Oliver's memory, all he seen was something that was pointing at, "Oh, you keep that with you all the time?" He just described you. "Oh yeah, that's the clipboard right there." Within this, but we definitely got to keep on shining the light on the inconsistencies of the law and the injustices that's.
Get NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV to watch up to 4 games live at once.
I think you have this case. Are you writing letters, or how does that all go down?
No, so I had a great appellate attorney by the name of Mark Silversmith. I put the last monies I had and would have a good friend who had a couple dollars too to be able to secure him, and from there. He did his job at the end of the day. But initially, my appeal was denied. And then we did a motion to review on top of that, within strategy, we did a habeas corpus at the same time, so it filed it in the appellate court, so it crossed the table at the same time. So knowing that I only got convicted on what this one lady said, and that's like, you know, like you got sentenced to life in prison on what one person said, and then knowing that there's other people out there that's saying I didn't do it, on top of my attorney being able to break down. Hey, do your thing, Pop. You know what I mean? I'll just keep it like that.
10 Milli is here, man.
Yeah.
Life after life.
Straight up.
That's the project, right?
Yeah, that's the project.
When you saw her on the day that the verdict was handed down, did you take that as a bad sign?
It felt to me that she was well aware about my case, and she was there to set her presence, almost take pride in getting a conviction. Especially in Hollywood. I was in production contracts, I was in talks with studios, and so forth. The pressure was on her, and she ended up dropping out of the race.
I'm suspending our campaign.
Until Joe Biden announced her as his VP candidate.
We did it, Joe. You're gonna be the next president of the...
I'm rocking with Trump. Donald 50 Cent Jackson Trump. In 2008, would be